and welcome back to Holistic Developer channel. I'm Anna, the host of this channel, and today it's actually June 1st, 2022. And what does that really mean? Well, exactly 10 years ago, which was June 2012, is when I started my career in software engineering here in the United States. What does that really mean? That doesn't include the time that I spent at university learning and like becoming or getting the knowledge to become a software engineer. This actually means that it's my first official job as a software engineer in the United States. And as you can do the math, I'm sure you can do that, it's exactly 10 years. And I want to show you and talk to you or document my journey in my career, how things progressed through this 10 years. And some of it I have the actual dates, and some of them it's something that I'll be remembering from memory. But yeah, here's my journey as a software engineer. And if we were we'll look at where I started in 10 years ago. I started as a software engineer, entry level. Recently just moved from Eastern Europe. Recently graduated from university, got a CS degree. Fast forward to today, I'm a senior software engineering manager, managing 3 teams and so on. So how did I go from entry-level software engineer to senior software engineering manager? So 10 years ago, I got my first job as a software engineer, entry level. I remember that I was given the opportunity to join, but I was super green, and I was hired as on probation, let's say. I had 2 months to prove that I am the right, I have the right to work there because I am bringing value and that I actually can code, basically, right? So from the get-go, I started to work. It was stressful that I was on temporary basis, or not temporary, probation basis. But within a month or so, I was, not even a month, I think 2 weeks in my probation, I was told that they decided to keep me because I'm learning fast, and I started to show signs that it was the right decision to hire me. Fast forward about a year, somewhat like that, I was promoted. I was a team lead, and in my team I had I think 4 people. And the weird thing about it was that I was one that with a company that was about a year with the company, and the people that I was leading, right? They were like, one was 18 years with the company, the other one was about 14 years with the company, and the next person was about 12 years with the company. And it was interesting to lead a bunch of engineers who had like way more experience than me, way more knowledgeable about domain and everything, right? But it was a good and interesting thing to do. Fast forward to, I believe, sometime in 2015, I kind of had the title of lead developer. I really not sure what that really meant, but that's like when I was doing different conferences for the company. That was my official title announced, right? And that meant that I was a subject matter expert on a few things in our super complex software. And I was leading some projects or consulted for projects and so on. Fast forward, I was asked to be the PM of a project, and I took that on because I always wanted to explore and learn what I like and what I don't like, and kind of, I will never know if I like something until I try it. So that's what I decided to do. But one thing that I want to be clear, all of the titles that I mentioned or all these roles changes that I have, that never meant that I stopped coding. Like, coding or software engineer was my base role or the primary responsibility, while like in parallel I was doing PM. And that was an interesting thing. And what that was good for me was that I understood what I like about software engineering, what I don't like about software engineering, what I liked about PM, and so on. And that experience made me stronger as an engineer, because I knew of things, how to look at, like kind of seeing the bigger picture and not just focus on one like ticket, like what to do and so on. That allowed me to kind of take a step wider, or a step outside the boundaries, let's say, and think holistically about multiple things. So that was that role. Fast forward to 2018, maybe 19. So I was asked to do take the role of a technical project manager. Oh boy, I didn't like that role, and I'm so happy that I gave it a try. But I didn't like it because it was a lot, in that instance, it was a lot of things, of setting up a new customer and making sure that all the settings are set correctly, training the customer, what settings that they have to do, what versions of hardware, software, and everything in between needed to be. So that was a lot of different things. But that experience also was super valuable for me. The reason was that, again, that helped me become a stronger engineer, because I knew how important things are. And if I were to zoom into an example, it was that it's not enough to be an engineer and like just do what is being asked in the ticket. You need, or user story, right? You need to think, okay, how will this be used end to end? How will this be configured? Like, oh, the functionality is there, but it's not configurable and stuff like that. So just getting, again, something to like see the world with a wider angle, right? Not only like straight ahead, but actually like horses, right? Like see a wider angle. And so that experience was really, really useful. Fast forward until 2020, which I was doing here and there, again, different roles, PM or TPM, and software engineering, regardless of the other projects that I was doing. I decided that I will quit my job, because I wanted to do something else. I wanted to learn something else. And at that time, I was considering to get into data science or web development. And the decision for me was to go with web development. So I wanted a structured, quick way to learn web development, or a more modern way to do web development, because my web development skills were, let's say, about 10 years old, and the web progresses really fast. So I just wanted to have relevant and applicable skills for that job market, or the market that was at that time. So I from March 2020 until September 2020, I dedicated my time to learn and grow as a web developer. And in 2020 December, I accepted a job, and the weird thing is that I applied for software engineer, but somehow in the process I ended up accepting software engineering manager position. So December 2020, I accepted the role, and I started with managing one team of 4 engineers. Fast forward to, like, that team grew. We got to 6 or 7 engineers, and in 2021 December, I switched teams, I switched departments in the company, and I started to manage 2 new projects, 2 new domains, and that was 2 teams into like December 2021. Fast forward to March 2022, which this is the year where we are. I'm managing right now 3 teams, and at this time I think I have about 22 engineers that are in my org. So yeah, that is a really quick dive into the journey or the trajectory of my career in this 10 years. We'll see what it will be next. But one thing that I wanted to say, like, I made mistakes, I learned from it, I grew, I reflected, and so on. And a lot of times we get lost in like where we want to go, and we lose the enjoying the moment right now. So the thing that I'm trying to continue remembering, and also tell other people who try to move fast in their career and so on, is not about the destination, it's about the journey. And I think that if you take anything from this video, that will be the message. So hopefully you found something that was useful in this video, and if you like it, give it a thumbs up. And I'll conclude here, and I'll say thank you for the people who stayed and watched this until the end, and I will see you in the next videos. Bye bye.